They smile so much with their flags. She's alluded to the military band. Most of the people failed to see she had a broken bottle in the other hand. And she took them by surprise. She took them by the throat. And said, my friends, you're not allowed to vote. Ooh, but they shook it all off with a nervous laugh and cough. Next time she said, I'll let those people joke. The people who grin themselves to death smile so much they fail to take a breath. And even when their kids were starving, they all thought the queen was charming. The people who grin themselves to death smile so much they fail to take a breath. And even when their kids were starving, they all thought the queen was charming. She polished all upon the wall and ran her hands right through her hair. So if the lady took the time to call, all the houses on the street would not compare. And she thought it really funny that she hadn't any money, but those she looked up to, they had. Ooh, but they shook it all off with a nervous laugh and cough. And when they took her riches, it was sad. The people who grin themselves to death smile so much they fail to take a breath. And even when their kids were starving, they all thought the queen was charming. The people who grin themselves to death smile so much they fail to take a breath. And even when their kids were starving, they all thought the queen was charming. The people who grin themselves to death smile so much they fail to take a breath. And even when their kids were starving, they all thought the queen was charming.
An evening. Welcome to Raconteurs News. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh, shit. Fucking hell. Fucking just autoplay. Why does autoplay come on fucking YouTube? Eh? Anyway, it weren't Beautiful South. No, it was Heath. Heath singing, but it was a cover version of the House Martins. The original version is a lot faster than that. It's a rocky, faster thing. God, we did it 10 years. That is 10 years old. We did that. I made a suggestion to Eve to record that, and he did it. So there you go. Thank you, Heath. The people who grin themselves to death probably should have had that at Jubilee, but you know I don't give a fuck about all that sort of shit. But there you go. Somebody actually took it, took the video and took the song and then put their own video to it. So I don't know who that guy is, but I had a look at it and it's there in it. It's a piece of art. It's supposed to be listened to and looked at and loved. So anyway, good evening. How are you doing? Oh, nice evening to you, Paula, Principium, Beakford, Clackington. Yeah, the House Martins. That's right. It were the House Martins. No, it was Heath who sang, not me, mate, not me. I did the video, but it was crap. But it was my idea, so I said, "Look, do this." The people are grinning themselves to death for Queen because I think it might have been that fucking other Jubilee thing that happened 10 years ago. So yeah. Have I fucking done that again? Let me have a look. I'm fucking wank at this. Let me have a look. All right, I'll copy this to clipboard. I'll put it in. This is for Jimmy, to get Jimmy on. But here it is. Hopefully, you'll be able to get on. Yeah. Like I say, what I'm going to do tonight, we've had this week here. It's been fucking mental, which is why I didn't do Tuesday night. I did warn you. I wasn't going to do Tuesday night, but it has been a bit mental. So, but it's over and done with now. So, fucking hell! How about if I do that? Yeah, so but it's over and done with now. So we're concentrating. We're back on to Thursday, Sunday, and Friday. But we might have to change Friday to Thursday. I'm sorry, Steve Gooseturd, but I might have to change to Thursday. I'm sorry, but I need to change anyway because Fridays are going to be maybe a little bit difficult in future. Evening to there you go, Jim. Cheers, mate. Newbie is in. Jimmy is Bandit Buster, non-violent extremist. Good evening to you, Tony. Jimmy, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, just catching up there. Sorry for the little bit of an echo there. I was kind of in the process of switching the YouTube stream off as you were connecting me. So sorry about that.
It's all right. I didn't see it anyway. I didn't hear it anyway. So, did you? What were it? Did I send you a fucking wrong one again? I did it last week, didn't I? Remember that? Last week after the show. Last week I put the wrong YouTube, the wrong link in for people to come on. And there's me and Jimmy sat there fucking like twiddling his thumbs thinking, well, no cunt fucking wants to even talk to us. But yeah, some people did come on because they've got the wrong ones. So anyway, that'll be at the end. At the end, I'll put that link in and people hang about for a bit, just have a chat and stuff like that. Notes broadcast, notes recorded, everybody's all friends. So, you just have to... it's there anyway if we want to do it. Evening, Jim. How's your week been, my friend?
Well, it was a busy start to the week, so I had commitments and stuff like that. But the second part of the week was nice and quiet and relaxed, and so I took it nice and easy. And putting together a few bits and pieces for tonight, because I was just thinking to myself today, Jay, what the fuck did I sign up for here?
Listen, you're not signed up for anything. If you want to do it, you do it. No, if you don't do it. I've got stuff that I've got written down to take piss out of and things like that. You know what I mean? I've not really, because of what this week's been quite, it's been going. I've not really been noticing anything that's been going on. So, hey, there's Aide's here as well. Aide's watching. Good evening, Aide. I hope you're all right. All right. I hope you're okay, mate. Been swimming with him today, and but I'd seize up. Maybe I jump on, but I'd seize up. Okay. So evening to you, AD. I hope you're all right. We had a good swim today, and he's got his little favourite dog that comes and stops with him when his mum and dad go away. So AD, and good evening to AD and Rolo. You probably do you remember AD, Jimmy?
Um, Not personally, like, but I remember of him, you know, because I know that you and him had big connections from way back, like, you know. So but I never had the pleasure and honor to meet him.
Brilliant. It's your nerves will be fine, Beakford crap. Listen, if you come on afterwards anyway, Beakford, we're not on live, it's just here, so people can talk, that's all. We're not live, nobody's recording anything. I know, because
That's the official narrative.
It's not personal. Did you hear that? I'm getting fucking bollock from behind here.
Yeah.
You just like, yes, no, don't worry about that. That'll be fine.
Sorry, I'm reading chat. Jimmy, what were your answer? What were his answer then? Fucking Miss Clever, fucking brainiac, remembers everything, fucking listens to everybody.
No, he just.
Did you?
Yeah, I got that. I got that. We were there. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, Jim, fucking hellfire, this woman.
The joys of having a better part of your life, you know.
Well, the absolute joy, the absolute fucking joy. It's just fucking joy all day and night here. That's all it is. Just fucking pure joy. No else. Just join us. So, what's caught your eye anyway, Jim? News-wise, we'll get into that, but we'll get into it in a bit. But just a brief overview.
Yeah, well, it's been an absolute banger of a week. Like news-wise, it's just hot and heavy. Like, and even just like, even if you just want to just take it from the Julian Assange point of view, or whether you want to take a look at Coof, or whether you want to have a look at what's going on between England and the EU, and also like the finances. The finances gone crazy. I think the best word to describe it would be carnage in the stock markets, and then in the crypto markets, you're looking at like total pillage and destruction. It's like you couldn't make the crap up, like, and that brings you all the way down then to energy crisis and fumbling around in the EU and the West as to what to fucking do, and we've got some interesting stuff on like what Russia's economy is doing, and that's quite interesting contrast, and then that's even before you get into Ukraine and all that debacle. Like, and we've got interesting stuff going on from Sergei Lavrov, and Putin is making some really interesting comments, and the war situation is kind of static, like, with small progress. But this happens in that war, so because like you have like moments of like quick moves, and then you go into lulls. It appears that we're in a little bit of a lull, and then you've got a blame game going on. But whose fault is it that the war is going badly for the West? And then you've got journalists being sort of harassed and being taken to court, and also we've got more servicemen captured from the West, American ones, and
I noticed an interesting article that you just, sorry, Jim, on your Jimmy's news feed on Twitter, Twitter. Fucking hell, don't mention Twitter. But on Telegram, I'd seen that there were an interesting story about 200,000 Ukrainian soldiers that have either gone missing or just never existed, which is fucking weird, isn't it? I mean, what's that all about?
And you know, I didn't even get around to putting that into tonight's sort of like news roundup, like, but that is crazy, and and there's absolutely a big discussion going on about that, and questions are being asked, like, if these soldiers did they ever exist for a start, and were the Ukrainians just like bumping up their numbers, or did they get killed on the battlefield? and nobody really seems to have a clear idea about what's going on there. And you've got crazy things going on over in Ukraine now, where you've got the internal military force, like they're going around and they're recruiting people from the beaches and stuff like that. And we're even getting reports that women are being drafted up as well too. So, and I have to say, I've seen some shocking pictures there during the week, like of, and some of the channels I follow, like they're real pro-Russian, and they kind of like they post these images of destroyed Ukrainian soldiers, and with some choice comments, and usually not always sort of like very, very nice comments, like, but I had to say the look of some of these soldiers, they look like children, I have to say, 15, 16 odd, like, and it's hard to tell when you're looking at a corpse, like, but I have to say, like, some of these soldiers, they just look like children, and that's kind of awful.
It's always
so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, 2,000 non-existent soldiers need a lot of aid. Yeah, I mean, that's true. They do. They need a lot of aid. They need fucking bodies and that, don't they? People who don't exist. It's like one of them things that used to pop up on status on Facebook. Where we're like talking about some of autism or this or whatever fucking disability or whatever. But so it's a bit like one of them where it's people who don't exist. They don't want your sympathy. They just want you to understand that they don't exist and they've got a right to not exist, just like you've got a right to exist. It's just fucking ridiculous that all these non-existent fucking soldiers in Ukraine.
Yeah, but on a more serious note, what if they have been destroyed? What if they've been liquidated? And that's
yeah. I mean, that's.
We know that they've been drafting up people just off the streets, like people with no military combat experience, and we have no clue what the real numbers are. Like, we're getting various numbers, like about how many are being killed every day, but we honestly can't sort of like we don't know who's telling the truth at the moment. I mean, we're getting numbers from Russia and we're getting numbers from Ukraine, and Ukraine keep on revising their numbers up. And now the Ukrainian numbers are coming closer to what the Russian numbers were, what the Russians were giving out. So we have to sort of like we have to take these numbers that are just bandy about, like with a certain degree of caution, like absorb them, of course, but like have a bit of healthy skepticism about like whether they're true or not. So we're in the fog of war here, and that's we have to keep that in mind all the time.
First casualty of the war, isn't it? Truth is the first casualty of the war. Everybody knows that. There's no rules. There's no right and wrong. I don't even think, to be fair, I don't even think this is a fucking real war. They do all this virtue signaling, all these fucking countries, do all this virtue signaling. They fuck off. McDonald's has fucked off, hasn't it, from Russia? They show all the shops down. They've just fucking opened them back up. It's fucking like McDonald's. We're like this fucking M, and it's all same stuff, exactly the same. It's just that branding's just removed. It's fucking crackers.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, and it was like going back just when the war broke out, and then all the sanctions started hitting Russia, and I think Putin made a statement to say, sending out to all the hackers. He says, "It's okay, you go and crack all the Western games and rip the DVDs. That's okay. You got a green light to go ahead and do all that. We won't do anything about it." So to hell with Western copyright titles,
Yeah, it's going to be like, sorry, I was in Dubai back in 1990, and you went in any shop, and could get a VHS or whatever film were out in cinema back in West. Normally, it'd all be fucking, or there'd be shit clipped out of it. I had Drop Dead Fred, for example. I bought Drop Dead Fred while I was here. That's how long ago it were. And there's a part where he goes and looks up the mother of the girl's skirt, looks up the woman's skirt, and that would just rub it, gone completely. It looks like that's what we're going to happen but it's going to be better quality now. It's not fair, is it? We should go to Russia.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, this is what we're up against, and we're moving into a new world. Because I mean, you got that you've also had that thing going on in St. Petersburg, the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. That's been going on as well too. So, and I have a little bit of an interesting Q&A because there was an interview with the BBC done an interview with Sergei Lavrov. And so I have a few little bits and pieces to pull out of that. I've got a transcript from it, and it's not complete. Like, there's still more to come in, and it only just got released there in the last hour or two. So, but I won't bore everybody to death with it. But I just wanted to pull out a few key points out of it, So there's a load of stuff going on this week. It's and most of it has nothing got to do with Ukraine, so that's good. We need a break from that shit.
Yeah. Excellent. I'm sorry, I'm reading fucking chat room. I were listening, mate, honestly. I were listening. I'm just trying to work out the Donna's put something in here that I can't work out. Yes, Paula, brilliant to have Aid already back. I'm doing Aid quote in live now. Don't ask for permission. I'm confident as ever. Okay. I don't know what that means, Donna. But anyway, it means something to you. And I've read it out now, live on the internet, on YouTube. On Raconteurs News. It is Raconteurs News. It's Friday night. It's the 17th of June, 2022. And it's myself, Jason Holmes, and Jimmy Hagan. Jimmy Hagan. Is it Hagan or Hagan? What shall I say?
I've noticed that it depends on who you're talking to. Like, when I'm talking to English people, they always pronounce it Hagan. And but over here, we call it Hagen over here.
Hagen, right? Hagen it is then. Yeah, I'll do it in your native.
Quite differently. Yeah, because we when we're pronouncing the A, we have an A. So we say the A, but you say the A. So that's why it's sort of like, that's why that difference. So I'm not too strict about how it's pronounced, because I understand the different pronunciations, that different emphasis people have on certain letters. So got to take all the shit into consideration when we're thinking geopolitically.
New Beans put a question up here. It's an interesting question. It's Friday night anyway. We're going to we'll do your report second hour after we've had a record and that, so gives you time to prepare and shit like that. Is that, do you reckon that's?
Look, Jay, that's what I was going to say earlier. I was saying to you, like, what the fuck did I sign up for here, right? and I was just because what I decided to do was, so I had all my notes ready, and I left it all till today just to put it all together, and it says, no, that was a bad idea. You should have been doing this as you were going along, because I should be really good at this shit, but I haven't done it for years. Years ago, I'd have it sort of like, I'd have it noted and documented, and I wouldn't have left it all to the last minute just to pull all.
Oh, listen, last minute's always best.
Well,
always best. Last minute, mate.
Not really, no, not really, because to be honest, but I suppose in a changing environment, I suppose last minute, like you do get the most relevant and up to date shit, like going into the report, like. But the way the week works out, it's still a report on the week, So, and I had it all saved, and I had it all, and I had about 100 bookmarks and stuff like that, and I had to clean up my browser because if I have 100 bookmarks open and then I try to run this fucking software, my computer is not going to be happy camper.
Exactly. Donna's said I mean the quote Aid used to say, don't ask for permission. Yeah, I don't ask for permission from people now. Yes, right. I get it now. Yeah, if you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. Aid used to have that on his wall behind him. I don't know. It's not still there. I haven't been for a bit, but I've been to his house, but I'm not inside. Fucking hell, don't want to go in there, man. Jesus Christ. No, he knows I'm only fucking kidding. No, but he used to have it on his wall, but it's not. I don't think it's there anymore. Yes, don't ask for permission, and don't even. Some people say don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness, but don't even fucking ask for forgiveness if you're not if you're not fucking bothered. Somebody said something up here. New Beings asked a question. She says, if the Pope dies, if the Queen dies, if some prime ministers die, do you think there will be a change?
Yeah, well, there'd be a few less assholes.
Yeah, there'd be a few more to fucking take the place, and all they breed like fucking rabbits, don't they? These
Oh,
Aristoteles.
yeah.
Have you seen how many name cunts they've got? Them fucking Harry and that. And William. I mean, William. Fuck me. If he lived on a council estate, there's no way he's having kids, is there?
God, you'd hope not.
Fucking hell, fire.
I don't envy him at all, though. I really don't. Look at that.
I don't envy him at all. I don't envy him either. No, look, I mean, having to go at somebody because of the physical appearance is not fucking. Is not. I think it was probably something that happened when they were in an egg.
Yeah, and a few stray sperm.
We'd have a few holidays, says Paula. A few holidays. We'd get a few bank holidays like that. That's stupid thing. But I were off that fucking day anyway. That's trouble with bank holidays. If you're off already, what's the point? Make everyone else go to work. You know. Oh dear. It's Donna talking to AD. He keeps talking in there. So yeah, there's not going to be a change, is there? Even if we get rid of, just getting rid of one is these prime ministers, and I suppose even to a certain extent Pope, because the Pope takes his orders from fucking Rothschilds, doesn't he? So even if Pope went and they all went, if they got rid of the seats that would, the positions that they hold, then that might have some, let's get rid of fucking prime minister. There'll be no change. There'll be no change. Not until it's got to be proper change, and if it will be proper change, it's. I'm afraid. Yeah, I think it's going to get bloody. What do you reckon?
I think change is overrated, and I'm kind of happy that we have the devils that we have, and we know who they are. It'd be a real pain in the arse if they were sort of like all wiped out, because then we'd have to learn a whole new range of fucking characters and stuff like that. And so, what do you think of my meme of the week? There, isn't that a good one?
It is a good meme, that, isn't it? It is a good meme. That's Justin Bieber, isn't it? There, right.
Yeah, I don't know the rest of the characters, but
well, the one on the far left, that is Brenda Howarth. She's a seamstress from the Wigan area. Where all fucking classic people live.
Right, all the classic people, yeah.
I don't know. But did you see that stroke of genius that somebody put fucking Joe Biden behind Justin Bieber?
Oh yeah, spotted that. That was good, actually.
That was a fucking brilliant picture. Absolutely brilliant picture. There you go.
There was a great video of Joe Biden there. I think it was yesterday, and he's screaming at people. He says, "I don't want to hear about economic issues anymore." It's like, did you hear it? I should have saved it,
listen. Like I say, I've seen fuck all week. Really, I've not even been looking. I've not even looked at all really on social media. It's just been fucking, it's just I've been that switched off from it, so I ain't seen fucking anything. I mean, all could have happened. Boris could have got a fucking haircut, and I wouldn't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking overnight. This is sort of things that happen to me, right? When we talk about, I was watching something overnight. This is what happens with me. I have these fucking moments where I suddenly just get something. But when we've been talking about what's been happening in the last couple of years, and we've been talking about their solution to it, and trying going around the houses to not mention, that word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was sat and I was watching something, and then I just suddenly fucking dawned on me, and I thought, it's not for somebody if they're listening. It's fucking algorithms that are listening. It's fucking algorithms that are listening. I fucking sat there and I thought, the fucking hell is up with me? What is up with me? Because I keep thinking, because I said it quite a lot. I just used to talk openly about it, and I said it quite a lot, and I don't know why algorithms didn't get me.
Yeah,
I thought it was a person.
I put it down to the guest that you had on because of his reach, probably, you know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Who were it?
Mm. You just ended up in bad company, Jason.
Well,
That's a good, healthy chest, that now.
I got. It started with Ollie Damigard before Christmas, but I had a look back. Right, you know when I got that last ban, that last ban that I got, the listed all my other bands, every other band that I've had, you know, on time frame. Because once you're out of 90, you get like 3 strikes. But if you go first strike and then don't get don't get another strike within 90 days, it clears it off essentially. So you can have like I've had
Okay.
multiple bans, but they've only ever been once. So I've never got, you know, I never fucking bothered. So anyway, I went and had a look this last time when Chuck O'Celly were on, and Chuck O'Celly's show got that show got fucking pulled. I know it didn't even fucking mention the Ollie Damigard one at all. It wouldn't even mention the. I got a 2-week ban for that fucker and all back in December, which is weird.
The Ollie Demigard one.
Yeah. I did interview Ollie Damigard before Christmas. That's on what's that other thing called we've got on here? What's that other fucking Odyssey? It's on Odyssey. You can see that on Odyssey. The interview with Ollie Damigard that I did in December. It's not on here because YouTube pulled it about fucking 2 hours after I'd finished it. But I did it in morning as well, see. Yeah, I shouldn't smoke Colgate. Sorry about this. It's because I've got a fucking joint going on. It's crackers. It's crackers, yeah. Maybe you're not taking fluoride. All right. Maybe you shouldn't smoke Colgate. Julian Assange is going to the USA. Oh, yeah. Assange is on his way, isn't he? What's up with him then? Because have they finally said, right, go on? Is he on plane? Because like he ought to say instead of he ought to fucking try to trick his way and get on that Rwanda one. Because then he'd just be like back still here, wouldn't he?
Well, that is an interesting one. So that news is breaking today. Basically, I think it actually happened yesterday. So, and it was one of the first things I wanted to discuss tonight. Actually, was the deportation was approved by the UK Home Secretary Priti Patel. I had a quick look at her picture now, and to be honest, she's not exactly pretty, but she's not ugly either. Like, you know, but it's an unusual name, you know. So, but this case has been going on for quite some time now. So apparently, what's going on with next is that he has a right of appeal. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this appeals process goes. So he's not exactly on the plane just yet, you know. And so we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out, you know. I guess I don't know, because it's hard to read the English justice system, you know, because sometimes it seems to work for you and then seems to work against you. Here you got the sort of like Priti Patel. She's kind of like, she's the justice minister, isn't she?
Yeah,
And
justice secretary.
Secretary, yeah, and she seems to have the final say in the matter, like, you know. So who are they appealing to? Are they appealing to the High Court or the Supreme Court? I don't know how that appeals process is worked, or whether you're appealing to the office. I don't know. So we'll just wait and see. So it's not written in stone just yet. He still hasn't appealed. So, and I don't know what your thoughts on Assange are, Jay, because me, I'm kind of like, and I know like he's renowned around the world, like, and for being this amazing journalist and stuff like that. Like, but I kind of have a different view of him, and I wouldn't classify him as a journalist as such, like, because he's kind of like, in a sense, his roots. He goes back to being. He started off as a hacker, basically, as a kid, like, you know, and he was hacking colleges and institutions over in Australia, as a kiddo. Like, there's a great documentary about him. I think you can find it on YouTube. I don't have the name of it, but if you go and search it for, you'll probably find it. But it's quite interesting, and it sort of documents his journey in hacking, where he started like hacking schools and grabbing databases and using college servers for doing like attacks on sort of like American. I think he may even have been responsible in attacking NASA at one point in his early career. So, and a lot happens with these types of kids. You call them sort of like kind of computer gurus. You know, they do get sort of hoovered up by security services and like the likes of MI5, MI6 would be hoovering the likes of these types up, like, you know. So there's rumors that he is working for the Russians, but I don't know, and it's kind of irrelevant. But but the Americans may well have a case, because a lot of the stuff that he was publishing really did sort of like, it screwed up the American electoral system, like, by bringing out all this classified information and stuff. So I'm not sure that I would sort of like put him in the category of a journalist, but still, that's the kind of like, that's the position he holds in the eyes of a lot of commentators and activists around the world, and this is how it is. So I don't know what your thoughts are on him.
Look, I don't know. I know someone's put in chat that Richard Deol thinks is a wrong one. I think it's Richard Deal is saying RDH. Hang on, there we go.
He thinks he's a wrong one, yeah?
Yeah, Bandit Buster says Richard Deal reckons Assange is on the books. Nah, I don't know whether he's on books. If he was back, yeah, this is the thing, is if he was on the books, he wouldn't be banged up all these years. And then, like, I mean, do we know that he's banged up? I mean, do we know? I don't know. I ain't got a fucking clue. He could be living next door to me, because I don't know. And that's not saying that he ain't. I'm just saying that I don't know. This is the reality. I'm being real here. This is the reality of it all. Is I don't fucking know. Now, like you said, Richard Deol says that he's on the books, but then again, I've heard that from people about Richard Deol. Do you understand what I mean? So what we're doing is we're sort of painting ourselves into a confused muddle. So, I mean, I don't look, the Julian Assange story is a good story for me. If this is happening, then fucking hell. I've just read a fucking comment and it's knocked it out of my face. I was talking about Richard. I was talking about yeah. If that's it. If this is happening now, it's the timing's really interesting because it's perfectly timed. We've got a bit of a lull in, like you say, in Ukraine and Russia. There's no real news on that, and there won't be any more real news on that really until the fucking thing's done and dusted. There might be a little flourish at the end, but apart from that, you know, it should be, you know, it'll be all right. It just seems to me like, you know, they go off to on the way to aren't they fucking? See, I've read another comment. I should look. Cross comments. Cross comments. Put me a hand on the comments. Yeah, it is. There's not really going on. We're getting into now into where MPs are about to fuck off for about fucking, I don't know, 16 fucking weeks or whatever they get off. You know, they have a fucking the longest summer ever. I mean, if you want to keep being a kid, just become an MP again. Because they fucking voted to like extend summer holidays. I mean, us plebs only used to get 6 weeks. I don't know how long summer holidays are. There's some fucking daft, like fucking 12 weeks or something. But they won't be coming back till October. So, I mean, then it's recall Parliament again. You know, there might be a few times that they have to recall Parliament because it's dramatic, and also it tops them up a bit because during summer break, they're perhaps not on the game as fully as they are in winter. I don't know. See, it just all fucking makes too much sense if I can if you just look at it from where it is. That I can't work it out. But I like sitting here trying and surviving, and that's what you got to do. Survive, innit?
It seems, though, that there was a plan to take Assange out, and I think it goes back to Hillary Clinton, and where some information got sort of like leaked. She apparently said, "Take him out, take him, drone him, take him out with a drone," right? And this is when he was in the embassy in London at one point there, and I think recently there's some high-profile American sort of like legal person. I can't remember what his name was. He's been summoned. There's a case been opened in Spain, I believe, and this whole case about the murder threats on Assange is coming into the public. So I've had a lot of thoughts about this for a long time about Assange, and as to whether he should get out of jail or maybe he should stay in there, because it seems to me that he's probably safer in jail. I just get this sense that if he got out of jail, that he'd be an easy target and be easier to take him out. But then again, look, it's easy to bump somebody off in jail too. So it's hard to know. It's a really, really tough one. But clearly there were threats on his life, and his life will be in danger. And I don't want to see the man end up in America, like where he's facing 170 odd years in prison, like for breaching breaching some acts on state secrets. It's kind of absurd, but this is the position he's in right now. But I still think he's a state agent, and he's very, very possibly a Russian agent. I just have that sense, and I have that.
Ooh, it gets fruity.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and I heard that there was there was a Russian agent arrested somewhere in England, I think today. So I didn't get any more information on it, but I'll be keeping an eye out for it. But apparently some Russian spy has been arrested in England as of today. So I'll be keeping an eye out for more information on that, like as as the week goes on, or as
I might have to fucking rethink that backwards R on logo now, then, won't I? If they fucking starting arresting Ruskies.
Well, a comment was made on when I did, because I just read it in a Telegram group, and I just don't like to post everything on Telegram as sort of news. I like to get a couple of verifications on things first, like till the nature of the information is clarified. It was suggested that maybe this dude might be used as leverage for the Aidan Aslan, who is facing the death penalty out in Ukraine at the minute. So we'll, which would not surprise me. It would not surprise me what would happen next in this drama.
Fucking, just get fucking.
I mean, there's the Edward Snowden case as well too, which is kind of similar in a lot of ways to Assange's story. And how the fuck did Snowden make it to Russia? Like, the way the intel agencies work, there's no way that he would have been able to make it to Russia. They would have taken him out long before. They would have known before he even done it that he was going to do it. That's the way it works with the intelligence agencies. They're normally way ahead of the curve. So how the fuck did Snowden get out of the West and into Russia? That never made any fucking sense to me. And I've always had this feeling that Snowden is just a wrong one as well.
Someone, Spanish Chicken says Chelsea Manning gave Assange the documents, and he's now free. He, she, him, it. Chelsea Manning. Well, that's what he needs to do. Assange, he needs to come out as Julian Assange, doesn't it? And say, I now fucking identify as a bird.
No, I don't think it was Chelsea Manning gave the documents to. Not from the DNC. God, who was it that gave the documents to? There was a chap that got murdered. Oh God, what was his fucking name? I can't think of it. I might just do quick search on that because I don't think it was Chelsea Manning though that gave those documents. You just have to bear with me, Jay. I'm just doing a little search here in the background. So.
Oh, sorry, I'm just looking at something else on the fucking screen. Thingies again. Someone said someone's into the getting Uni on to read comments.
yeah. I thought he was going to be the main man, to coordinating the whole effort behind the scenes.
Well, he's just not stepped up, has he? So Bibo Rebozo says Assange is an Israeli-Russian agent. It has been obvious for over a decade. See, I ain't got a fucking clue. I ain't got a clue. I honestly ain't. You could tell me we're out, and I've got no reason to not believe you.
Yeah, it would appear that this is the case, BB. Absolutely, BB. That's a great name. You relate to BB over in Israel.
No, I was only kidding when I said you weren't stepping up, Uni. I was just messing, mate. Listen, let's get him on and fucking. Well, it's Friday night. Let's get him on and get him to read comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gives him something to do, doesn't it? Between wanks. And Dungeon Master or whatever. What do they play these days? Fucking Dungeon Master or fucking
between wanks and taking over the world.
I was thinking today about this. About fucking. I've got a fucking for some reason on one of my computers. This thing's come up as a gay thing. It's turned my computer gay, so it's now got like rainbows and shit on it, on like part of it. Now I didn't even ask for that. Why do I want fucking? I know bright colours are nice and stuff, but I don't. I don't care. It don't matter to me. It represents something that I'm just not interested in. People identifying by the fucking sexuality. I was thinking about it, right? And I was thinking, right, I've got this scenario where this fucking bloke goes into fucking Department of Works and Pensions or Dole office or whatever. His PIP, and he's going in for his assessment, and he says, I identify as an octopus, but I've got 6 legs missing. So can you give me 6 legs worth of fucking disability thing? And what did they do? Did they fucking offend him and say, "No, you're not"? And then they go, "Well, you're clearly not because you've got arms." And he'll go, "Actually, that's a fucking birth defect that I had, and I'm very fucking touchy about it. And now you've touched a nerve, so I'm a bit offended. Stuck, aren't you?" It's a weird world we're getting into, man. Fucking fucking octopuses, they'll do all right to get a bit of fucking money.
It's just odd that your computer all of a sudden wants to become woke,
I know it is, though, isn't it? It is weird. I mean, why? Why? I think Julian Assange is here.
It's probably a Microsoft thing, but I'm after thinking of the name of the person who it is believed gave the documents to Julian Assange regarding the DNC servers, and that man's name was Seth Rich. Now that it is believed that Seth Rich is the source of very many.
That's the guy who died, isn't it?
He was actually murdered, and it's quite a curious case because it would appear that the CIA have some level of involvement in that murder. So it's a curious case,
Congratulations, you've just met the Clintons.
You've been Arkancided. How are you?
Julian, how are you, Julian?
Oh, fine. Still holed up in jail.
Oh, dear me. Oh, well, never
mind.
mind.
A bit of weight. You don't look like a jailbird, to be honest.
Trust me, it's more of a jail than you might think, my guy.
Has anything happened in your life that you think we might be remotely interested in, or shall we just move on?
Not really.
Okay, right. Let's just move on then.
I will say this, though. as far as what's going on, as far as what's being said on the U.S. news, like on the American mainstream media, all you ever hear is just mostly just January 6th Trump stuff going on with my, talking about what's his name? Not Mike Pence, the other guy. But basically,
Like
a bunch
pencil.
of Mike Pence. But yeah, essentially, it's just been a bunch of stuff about the January 6th hearings and, making a big fuss about that because apparently Ukraine and COVID aren't selling for them anymore. So, they got to change the narrative of what's being talked about.
It's Coof, Uni. Coof. Don't say COVID. Just say Coof. And we're talking code. We're talking code.
Yeah. We've got to talk in code. It's the algorithms. It's not people listening to you. I thought it were people listening to you. You know? Do you know not? You know, don't you? It's algorithm. It's like robots that are listening to you.
Oh yeah. That's
You
how it
knew
works.
that. How did you know that and I didn't? I thought it were people. I thought they'd go like they might have some picking up a keyword, but they wouldn't have like shit where it fucking picks that word out and finds out what context it's fucking made in, and then fucking kiboshes you off at fucking internet without no one even fucking saying anything or seeing it.
YouTube has bots on their like you said, on their algorithm. Anything that you say, they'll be able to detect certain key phrases and stuff like that, and be able to basically hit you for them. I think they also are able to detect the context of how you're saying them as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Robots. We're fucking living in like this robot fucking like Matrix. It is the Matrix. The fucking robots are here already doing as shit. They're deciding whether I can talk to you. Robots are deciding that now. If a robot decided that it didn't want me to talk to you, it could cut one of us off or just fucking turn YouTube off.
Exactly. That's why I always tell everyone YouTube is shit. It's been shit for well over 10 years now. It's a garbage platform. There's so many better alternatives out there.
Well, who the fuck is going
better alternatives, but
I've been with YouTube since the very start, almost like the first the first year or two of YouTube, and I've seen its decline as it's gone on.
I'm still not over happy with Odyssey and its sort of live performance. It just doesn't seem very, very stable and steady yet. I think Rumble is not too bad, but still, there's not many options out there for live streaming anyway that I can find.
That's because live streaming is a lot harder to set up on a platform than it is to just upload than it is to allow videos to be uploaded. It's a much more difficult thing because you have to set up servers and all that as well. It's a bit more difficult, but yeah, I do agree that more websites do need to have these kind of things going on. So that way we can fully just say, well, fuck off YouTube. We don't need you anymore. But then again, most people just want to stick with YouTube for some reason, despite the fact that it's like, I don't know. It's like MySpace got abandoned, and forgotten about, even though it's still technically around. I don't understand why YouTube hasn't gone down that same route. Especially considering the fact that I've seen people complaining about YouTube over and over the years. Like every single time they come with a new update and things start looking horrible in terms of like the aesthetics of the website. Or remember when you could do DMs on YouTube, like direct messages?
Yeah.
Actually,
you can't do that.
Yeah, can't do that anymore.
I kind of missed that because sometimes it used to be useful for contacting people if you wanted to sort of like organize an interview or something, if they were doing some interesting information, and you might say like, okay, I'd like to meet up and get a recording and talk about this topic, So that's gone obviously because I was trying to figure out where the fuck did they hide that fucking direct message setting, and it took me ages to figure out. It just doesn't exist anymore.
Oh yeah, yep. And of course, all the updates they've done to their copyright systems and all that. So of course, implementing bots to flag and delete YouTube's videos, or even just blacklisting people, like not directly hitting them, but just hiding them from the algorithm, so that way people don't see you, even if they like this happened to a lot of James Corbett's videos before he got deleted off of YouTube. Like his Federal Reserve video had like several million views on it, but even when you typed in Federal Reserve into YouTube, it wouldn't pop up unless you search like several pages in, then that's you to find out. Of course, if you're subscribed to him, and then obviously you get it. But even then, nowadays, a lot of the time, sometimes even if you're subscribed to somebody and you have the bell icon hit, you still don't get notifications for them for if they're live or if they posted a new video.
Well, I have to say, so the bot is actually doing humanity a favor by throttling Corbett anyway. So that at least they're doing us a favor in that
Excellent
department.
fucking news. That's excellent news. I just noticed my mic were on a minute ago, and I don't know whether I've been fucking blaring on for not even talking to anybody. So I don't know whether that's been happening. But anyway, Bandit Buster says I have to search for RN every time I want to watch. That's what it is. I mean, I have to search for it, and I'm fucking channel man owner. Evening to you, Rob. Elf Freedom UK. Good evening, Elf Doctor Rob, as Jimmy calls him. Good evening to you, mate. Thanks for the lotion, pal. It's been working on us. It's been a good week. It's been a long week, so but it's been we've had some good lotion. Jimmy looks almost normal tonight, he says.
I look almost. He didn't even. He's not prepared to take the extra step and just say, "Oh, Jimmy, you're normal for this. Almost normal." Thanks, Rob.
Well, you don't look like a Smurf tonight.
Don't worry, I can do it at a moment's notice. Just say the word.
You should make yourself look like a Teletubby. Or Barney the dinosaur. Oh, God. Or fucking Elmo.
It's been a good week lotion-wise. It's not lotion, really. It's more like a rub-on thing. But anyway, it's from Rob. I probably didn't even... I'm probably talking about something completely different to what you two were just then.
Jason.
What?
That's what she said. That's what she said.
Okay. Is the UK back on the gold standard? Says Lion's Share. What do you think? I don't know. Were it on gold standard ever? It's not been on gold standard for years, has it?
Not since 1666, I think.
No. It goes. I think early 1970s. I think that's when America went off the gold standard. Anyway.
Well, yeah, but I mean, gold hasn't been a common currency in America since for way before that. I mean, of course, you had Roosevelt who literally ordered the public to turn in their gold as soon as he became president in 1933. And here's these worthless pieces of paper, bills of exchange, and then even before that, of course, you got the Fed, who has no gold reserves whatsoever, and even before that.
Allegedly, nobody's in there to audit it, so we'll just have to hang that with allegedly around it, until we know for sure.
Yeah, we're also told that it's in that we have like a bunch of gold in Fort Knox, but it's not true. You talk to any real soldier who guards the place, and they tell you that it's completely empty. It's been empty for years. Even before that, before the Fed, you had the different banks of America that they tried introducing in the 19th century.
Uni, are you suggesting that all the reserves that Germany have left in America to hold for safekeeping are gone? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
What do they do with them?
Who knows? We don't know. They probably sent to Israel or something. Who knows?
Wow.
Well, yeah, it's interesting, that, isn't it? I mean, why would you fucking give your fucking money to America? You know what I mean? I'll hang on to this for you. It's like bully kid going into school with little fucking weedy kid, and he says to him, "Where's your pocket money? Where's your dinner money?" Like, and he gives it, he holds out his dinner money, and fucking he goes, "I'll hang on to that for you." There you go, nice little boy. Go on, fucking run along. Come and find me at dinner time.
I think Venezuela sort of like figured that out there not too long ago when they tried to extract their gold reserves from the UK. And the UK wouldn't give them back. So something similar happened there in Venezuela's sort of case. So,
before I forget, I just want to mention. I honestly just want to say, I don't understand why so many people think that it's a good idea for us to go back to a gold standard. Honestly, like gold is one of the most easily manipulatable substances in the world. And even back when we were on the gold standard, things weren't really much better. Honestly,
Okay, so what standard? What about you? What would you put it up against then?
well, okay, let's say back in England, back in, let's say, I think the 14th or 15th century, they literally the king literally distributed sticks and used that as currency. It was something,
Right,
I forget
so
what
let's
the exact.
fucking go. The fuck are you talking about? I was going back to sticks.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Fucking
I'd make a
sticks. Are you
fortune
having a
of
laugh? You seriously
I've
come
got
on this
no-
fucking show?
I'm surrounded by sticks here, Jay. I'd be an instant millionaire.
Fucking no wonder Diddy lives in woods. He fucking is Diddy and fucking you and his master plan, isn't it? Right, I'm going to implement this fucking sticks plan using Raconteurs news, and I've fucking got loads of sticks. I'll send you some of them. Don't worry. I'll send you a few of my sticks. Yeah, you're not going to get no sticks off Diddy. You know that, don't you?
Speaking of Denny, I talked to him last night just before I went to bed. I was fucking tired as shit, and he actually said that if you want to talk to him, I asked him, Jason said he wanted to have some way to contact you, and he said, well, if he wants to contact me, then re-download Skype and then message me.
Yeah.
Is that what this is about? Right. Okay.
That's what he said.
I forgot to
See
send
what I
you
mean?
over his number, Jason. So
I'm not fucking ringing him. No, we can fucking fuck off. We can update his fucking phone to Telegram. Yeah. I know. Look, come on, for fuck's sake, let's play this game. He's gonna be richest man in the world when he's fucking got his plan fucking implemented. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ, fucking stickmaster. Come on, what? Give me a proper fucking. What would back the money? Right? What would back if you got you? Because it needs to be backed by something. So
Yeah.
what would you say? It isn't now. We know that it isn't now, but it really should be for it to be a currency rather than just a fucking debt. Well, a fucking debt-based economy shit, fucking bollocks. But
Yeah.
as it's all debt. So tell us, what would you back it with if it's not gold? Because gold at least is you can feel it and touch it, and that's that's how much your currency is worth because you've got that much gold.
Well, honestly, just do it the way that a lot of the countries did when they went off of the when they went away from the central banking system. Just have the currency itself just be nothing more than just a way to say okay, here's your hard work. You did all this hard work. Here's
fucking
your
Monopoly. So we're playing Monopoly, are we? And at what point? No, seriously though. At what point then do they say, right? I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to fucking reset it because it's got all out of kilter. So what we're going to do is reset it back to what it were, but fucking prices will still fucking stay the same, and it'll be inflation that way, and then things will be worth less and less. That's what system we've got now. You fucking bell sack. That's the system we've got now. What you're fucking saying is the system we've got now.
Well, that's because we have a central bank who claims that our money is backed by gold when in fact it's really not. But this is a central banking system that is literally able to manipulate the value of the currency at will. And it's been in England it's been that way for literally hundreds of years.
Yes, right. Okay. Right. Gold traditionally backs a currency, right? Whatever fucking your currency. This is why other countries had other currencies. There's other things than dollar. We don't even use dollars. We use sterling. Sterling because silver, right? So you've got a country. You invent a currency, and then people they get for the labour they get little bits of gold. But instead of giving them a bit of gold, they give them a pound note, which is a promise to pay that. But it's where it says promise to pay the bearer the sum of £1, so that equivalent in gold. So if gold's worth more, so your currency will be worth more the more gold reserves you've got, right? Because the more gold reserves you've got, then the more the currency. You better more value to your currency. But if your currency is not, what you're saying is that we just carry on with this fucking ridiculous system where there's just nothing. There's no value in it whatsoever. And then you say, let's go back to fucking note. zero. Reset again.
What I'm saying is, we go the system of, say, I don't know if I think Venezuela's doing it now, but the way that National Socialist Germany did it, they prospered. They didn't have an ounce of gold. They had a prosper, and they had
Did
the
you
strongest
fucking know
economy
this
in
was
the world.
coming or what? First spot. National Socialist fucking Germany. Here he goes. He's on his fucking crusade again.
Yeah,
I'm just using it as an example, as a system, as a prosperous economic system that doesn't need an ounce of gold or a central banking system in order to prosper.
Well, fortunately, we don't even have to go back in history to a National Socialist crazy fucking system out of control to know what we have to do in order to have a successful currency. And Russia are showing us right now what you have to do. So if you're going to back a currency, you have to back it with something which is solid. And Putin is showing us this clearly, that like you have to have an asset backed currency which is backed by either commodities or say for example like oil, gas, or
Yeah.
you could be talking about food or any one of a number of tangible sort of products which
Yes.
an industry can sort of like produce and export and sell on the markets basically. So like if we're talking about what we're going to back a currency with, this is the way forward.
Yes.
And
Real things.
We can't do this in the West at the moment because we kind of like we've moved from a manufacturing economy to a service-based economy, and what we're going to see now as we go through the next year or two is that the service-based economy has nothing of substance to it, So, and that's why Russia are thriving at the moment. They've got so much fucking money they don't know what to do with. I don't know whether you've picked up there over the last couple of days that people are getting like wage increases over in Russia. So what they're doing is they've got that much money coming in from gas and oil earnings that they don't really know what to do with it. So they're passing some of those gains back to the people, right? So that is, in a sense, is what you back a currency with. Sorry, I'm just killing a wasp here. Fucking Jesus Christ, would you die, you little cunt?
Oh, be careful. As soon as you get rid of one, a whole flock of them pops in.
NATO
A fucking
bastards.
flock of wasps. Where the fucking hell did you get educated, man?
Well, I'm talking about like a hive. A hive.
Fucking wasps.
Fucking
Sorry
a
about
flock.
that.
There's going to be a flock of them through window in a minute. Them fucking wasps.
Okay,
No,
okay.
they all fly about in
Wrong word.
flocks.
Hive. A fucking hive of wasps.
They're not a hive either, is it? It's like a fucking swarm, isn't it, or something?
Swarm, yeah.
Not a fucking flock. Fucking flock. So there's seven or eight fucking wasps fly past you. Well, little flock there. Flock of
I mean,
wasps.
you can have a flock of sheep or you can have a flock of Democrats, but nah, that doesn't work for wasps, man.
Flock of Democrats. Nice. But yeah, you're absolutely right about the Russian way of going about it. That's why I say that you don't need the gold, because it's just like, let's be honest here. What do you do with gold other than it looking pretty? It's just a piece of it's just something that looks pretty. It's not something you actually do anything with, like say oil or food or anything that you actually use on a day-to-day basis.
Well, that's not entirely true, because gold has its place, and it's like gold and silver do have like good use. Like silver, for example, is used in electronics and electronics components, and I think also gold can be used in electronics component. Plus, it's used in a lot of it's a highly prized commodity because people like to wear gold, so it's very much
yeah, but that's
people want it for its decorative property, it's artistic, its look, its weight. So there's a lot of reasons why gold has been the standard for thousands of years, and as a store of wealth. So unlike cryptos and Bitcoin, which you can't make jewelry out of, like, but they look good on paper. But gold actually does have some use cases, and So, and we mustn't overlook that. So gold is not like one of these useful commodities that just looks nice, because it does have uses, you know.
I guess I see what you're saying. I just never understood the whole appeal of jewelry or anything like that. It's like, ooh, I got this cool little necklace on me or this ring. I'm so cool. Like, no, you look like a fucking dickhead.
Get a girlfriend. She'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, people are saying it's in your Xbox. Gold. There's gold in your Xbox.
Yeah, definitely gold. There's a lot of gold used in motherboards and components for computers and stuff. And lots of people collect these old and used computers, melt them down to extract the gold out of them. It's a long process, but it still goes on. You know, so.
Somebody, a lion's share in the chat says gold is nothing other than metal in terms of commerce. It's worthless unless you think of value as a concept.
Well, Chris Partridge says gold in your phone. Nah, I'm just going to tell you, Chris, I don't think fucking Yoni's allowed a phone.
I have a phone right here. I have one phone right here. Here's another one. And here's a tablet.
Right, well, you're going to get burgled tonight now, you know.
Well, they don't work very well. I barely touch them. They don't work very well at all. So, you know, if you want to steal them, go right ahead and have a barely functionable device. You know, that's probably not worth anything.
Beatford Clackington has got a gold willy.
It's true.
I've got a bronze willy.
It's true what Chris Partridge is saying there in the chat. Like, gold has held its value for 2,000 years. No other currency has ever come anywhere near, and that's true. And gold is kind of like the gold standard of like store of value, but it has its own problems, though. Like, you know,
are gold.
It's not very, very mobile. You know, it's very, very heavy. And what do you do with it? What do you do? Do you dig a hole out in the garden and keep it in the hole, or what if you want to move to a different country? How do you move it? Like, is there a way to deal with it without having sort of like, and like it goes back to what I was saying about Germany holding its gold reserves in America. Like, I mean, what do you do with it? How do you keep it secure? Where do you keep it? Like, you know, so
that's funny.
It has its uses, of course, like, and as a store of value, like, but for the ordinary person, and also how do you divide it up? How do you sort of like divide it up? So if you're in a shit fan situation, how do you sort of like price things? Like, if you have a kilo of gold there, like, you know, what do? Do you start shaving bits of gold off it to pay for a sliced pan or something like that? So I don't think it has a use case in an economy because it's extremely hard to work with. Like, but still, like, if you're rich and powerful and you have the means, it is definitely a good store of value, no doubt. It'll stand the test of time. It'll be a store of value in 2,000 years from now, guaranteed.
I'm just saying, it's like, what's someone like me gonna do with them? Like, say, if I had a pound of gold sitting right next to me, what am I gonna do with that?
Sell it, wouldn't you, for fucking tokens that would get you some money, that would get you some food, or get you a new Xbox, or, you know, fucking get you one of them vibrating
PlayStation.
Yeah, or buy some gold. Yeah, sell your gold and then buy some gold with your money that you get from gold.
I've actually been following the Canadian Prepper Jay, and he had this guy on there recently, and he has this new thing coming out, like, and it's like sort of like denominations of gold which are usable in the real world. It's kind of like flexible gold. It's like paper thin, and he has it done into denominations which could be sort of like denominated into units of $1, $10, $20, and it looks like sheets of paper. It's flexible and it's inside laminated plastic and stuff like that, and very, very interesting concept, you know. So I'll see if I can dig up more information, because I didn't actually remember. I didn't think it was going to come up tonight, like, but I'll see if I can dig up more information on that. Like, quite an interesting concept.
Bitcoin is the best right now, says Spanish Chicken.
Yeah, it's only down 80%.
Is that what it's down?
Huh?
Is it down 80%? Is it?
It's down at last I heard it was hovering around the 22,000 dollar mark, which was I think it took a haircut of about 70 to 80%. Yeah, so it's been getting hammered, like, but so have all the cryptos basically.
I've never understood this whole cryptocurrency, freaking Bitcoin, all this other stuff. I've never understood it at all.
Anyway, Julian, do your job. What have they been saying in chat room?
Oh, basically, Chris Partridge is trying to is essentially trying to talk about gold and its positives, and then Lion's Share is saying that value is arbitrary. It's something. It's a human-made concept, and
yeah, no, he's quite correct, because it goes back to your stick analogy, because if people wanted to say, if people adopted the idea that we go to a stick economy, and if people saw value in those sticks, and everybody agreed those sticks were going to be the new currency, well then you could actually sort of like implement a monetary policy based on those sticks, But how do you?
It's something that the King of England did like several hundred years ago, and it worked for a couple hundred years. The King of England at the time. I don't know if you know about that, but it is something that was done. I don't know what the exact name for it was, but it was kind of like, it was basically like a stick essentially.
I'm just trying to imagine, like, how the fuck did he stop inflation? Because all the poor people will be running out to the woods and getting as many sticks as they can and flooding the economy with liquidity.
I'm pretty sure that it was actually the currency that might have even been used before the 1666 takeover with the central banking system. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I saw the documentary on it, but it was really interesting.
Stick economy. It's
serious.
Can't-
It was an actual thing.
You
What
can't
kind of
pay
stick-
bills in a stick-based economy.
It's a beautiful concept, but I just don't see how it would work. I don't.
I'll try to find you. I'll try to find I'm trying to find the documentary that I watched on it, but it was a very it was a very informative one, and I found it to be very interesting.
Yes, it sounds like it was. Very informative. Oh, fucking hell, man. You're just
It's like that's what happens when you have like someone in charge that is actually has a flexible mind and doesn't just stick with the same thing that doesn't necessarily always work, and tries to do different things. And obviously sometimes those things can fail. Other times they can actually be really successful and be prosperous.
well,
So, come here. What kind of sticks were there, by the way? Was there a special kind of stick, or did any old stick at all do?
I'd have to look back on. That's what I'm trying to find right now. But I do.
Man, you're fucking useless, man. Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to find it right now, but it's just like,
I mean, Jason, what kind of stick would you use? Like, because obviously you'd have to have a very, very special type of stick. If you were going to base the whole economy around it, it wouldn't be sort of like any ordinary stick that you'd use. You'd have to use a kind of stick that was rare. That people.
no, I tell you what I'd use. What sort of stick I'd use? I'd use one of them that's fucking right long, right? And it's a stick that's got like a Y shape on it, and it's perhaps got a few leaves on like end of a branch type thing, so it's quite long, and it takes a bit, the one that a dog might try and carry but can't. You know what I mean? Fucking big like that, a big stick. You want a big stick, don't you? I mean, fucking hell. When it comes, that's your economy. A bigger stick, the fucking more stick you've got, isn't it? The richer you are.
I wonder if anyone in the chat actually knows. The tally stick. I think that's the one that was it. The tally stick. I think that was it.
Oh, right. I heard of the tally stick before. Yeah. Oh.
Yes, I've heard of it. Yeah, but it weren't sticks, were it? It weren't like fucking stick. Everyone's going out for some sticks. Some shoving some sticks down a fucking stripper's knickers.
And that reminds me, because we had that crash there, right, during the week of the cryptos, right? And well, hold on, let me get this up because this is amazing.
Wait. Let me read this by Bebe Rebozo. England's most successful and least well-known currency is the tally stick, introduced by King Henry I in 1100 AD. Tally sticks were a form of debt-free money outside the control of the goldsmiths, money changers, and bankers. The most successful currency in England in history.
All right, give us more. What is this tally stick? Give us a bit more there. The background.
I think that's. I think I'll leave that to Bebe Robalzo's in the chat to him to say, because I do remember it wasn't exactly that rare of an item. It was a pretty common one, and the king used it as the currency because before that, gold was, of course, gold and silver obviously where what was the currency was based off of, but it was causing constant recessions because the people in charge of the gold were basically saying how much it was worth and exactly like and how much they had. It's a very easily very easy to manipulate form of currency.
Yeah, all right, whatever. But you still fucking need it, don't you, to back it? And anyway, that the Bibe Rebozo said the idiots won't read it, so you read it, so it must have meant you. So it must have meant you won't read it, and you have.
Mm. Yeah, I'm trying to read the chat, because I actually want to be able to do my job, do my job right.
Tally sticks were manipulated like mad, says Chris Partridge.
I was just laughing at this post that came out on Telegram there the other day. I didn't know how much credence to put on at the time, but it was only as the week progressed that it actually came into relevance. And I'm going to read the Telegram post here. It was by an anonymous poster. And it goes on. If you are wondering why crypto is crashing so hard today, here is the red pill. This company called Celsius stopped customer withdrawals today, and it was the biggest lending platform that did multiple fuck-ups that caused them to lose their customers' money. Now they couldn't pay back assets to users on their platform, so they paused everything basically. One of the fuck-ups being over screen cap. Their CEO was literally the first woman they hired that sucked some dick. The other thing that they did, they were overhedged, and other big companies were also fund managed by them, is causing an avalanche of panic, margin calls, crashes that just further the problems further. So basically what I'll do is I'm just going to share, if I can, this little screen cap that I took of that was attached to the post. See, where's the window capture? There we go. So basically, I don't know how much of this you can see. Her name is Jessica Chatter. They're talking about the CEO that sucks dick. Jessica Chatter shows she's the head of the institutional lending at Celsius Network. Jessica Chatter manages a book of 300 million in Bitcoin assets that have resulted in 2.2 billion in loans. After being hired as a marketing assistant by Celsius Network, she quickly powered herself as much more by helping build the Bitcoin lending firm's back office. And meanwhile, down here in a tweet by this dude called Bear Baron Halsban, who kindly picked up, like, I mean, who even thinks Celsius was legit when their head of institutional lending, Jessica Charter, 24 years, is an ex-porn star, right? So here you have here in the caption, like, earn, borrow, and come. 5.47 billion in loans, 610 million in assets, one active whore, the Celsius.network. So I just thought that was kind of like ironic, and this is what's going on in this crypto fucking craziness that's going on at the moment. So I just had their CEO sucks dick, basically.
I'll be right back. I have some background noise. I'm gonna have to take care of that real quick. So you guys continue.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for the permission there, Una. Oh, Una.
Sorry. I'll try.
What do you reckon's happening now then? Is it? I do want egg and chips or fucking pizza and chips.
I don't know. It's like he's probably getting orders to clean his room.
It don't. Well, I tell you what, it don't fucking. It looks like he eats well anyway. So there's always
No,
that.
it doesn't look like the recession has hit Uni's house just yet. Anyway, so he's doing all right. He's not looking as disheveled and sort of badly fed as some of those Ukrainian soldiers that I'm seeing pictures of, who look really grossly malnourished, actually.
Yeah. Well, we're going to say that there's a lot of talk in chat room about crypto. I've never really got crypto. I've never really got into it. I've never really fucking, had any fucking money to invest in shit anyway, really. So I had some one coin and didn't get burnt with it because I didn't put no money in. I got gifted the ones that I had, but I could see where it was going to go. And sure enough, that's where it went. But look, I just don't know enough about it. I know people they've got all sorts of, they're into it and like all this stuff. That's fine. It's just not my thing. I don't think. A bit like you, I think, Jim. You're not really bothered about crypto, are you?
Not really. I was kind of like interested in it for a while, but to be honest, it's starting to smell more and more like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, the fucking whole lot of it. But anyway.
Yeah. Especially when you got the likes of characters like Elon Musk, like pumping and dumping cryptocurrencies just for the fun of it. Like, it's almost like he's telling people, he's showing people that it's a load of bullshit, and like when you got like influencers who can sort of like control what a cryptocurrency is going to do, and it's a very, very dangerous thing to be getting into. I know an awful lot of people are sort of like they're getting in and they've got this idea in their head that they're going to hodl and they're going to be rich. And do you know what? You're never going to be rich that way. That's not how the markets work. You just need to be aware. You need to know how to get in and how to get out, and that's the key to making money in any type of market. So you're not going to get rich by buying a load of crypto and sitting on the fucking thing. You got to know when to get the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know enough about it. I'm not going to be bothering. I don't think.
And the markets are not complicated, Jay. They're not complicated at all. They work in a cycle. You got your lows, you got your highs, and they're forever on these cycles. They go up and they come down, and you're gonna know when the down cycle is going to hit. You got to know when that's going to happen, and it is predictable, very, very predictable. If you do a little bit of research in how to trade and stuff like that, you can predict the market cycles, and you can sort of like, there's lots of tools out there to help you gauge when the lows are going to hit and when the highs are going to hit. So, and as long as you pick your moments right, you can make a lot of fucking money, but you're not going to make any money by sitting and hoping that shit's going to happen. That's not how markets work.
Jason, don't be daft. ISO 20022 tokens. I don't even know what they are. I wouldn't even have a fucking clue. And I'm never going to remember all that. It's not even easy to fucking remember. So how am I going to remember my password?
Yeah, I wonder, ISO 222 token, are they Ethereum-based tokens, I don't know. I've heard of them, I think. But there's... it's the ISO 222. It's a protocol number, I think, or a specification of a type of token. So go and find them. yeah. Look, it's all very well investing in these tokens, and I will probably at some stage, if they do gain traction, I probably would like to go and start trading them. But I would also like to be smart about it, So. At the end of the day, if I was to get involved in any more buying of tokens, I would be choosing the moments that I buy them, and I'd be definitely selling them before it reached their peak, and get the fuck out of them before they crash, because you could be left holding a bag of crap, you know.
Yeah, privacy coins are the future. Well, what is the fucking future going to be? What is the future going to be anyway? Fucking hell.
Oh, fucking knows, man. We don't know. We don't know. I'm hearing rumors that like the United States have possibly. I can't remember. I just came across just briefly earlier on where the United States may be bringing in their tokenized or digital dollar next February. So there is definitely going to be moves in the cryptocurrencies. Like, so there's going to be a lot of changes, and I don't see how the privacy coins will be allowed to survive in once the big guys take control of the whole system. I'm not sure how they'll allow these privacy coins to operate outside of their domain. So I'm just unsure. I'm not saying I'm not saying that they won't work or that it's not possible that they'd be able to operate. But I have my doubts that the central banks will allow any other currencies outside their own their own digital currencies to be used. So um, it's a space that we're just going to have to watch. I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I'm not a financial dude either, so I've got limited knowledge in finance, really, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, Dinny's going to be all right anyway with all these stakes.
Oh yeah,
It does come down to it. We end up going back to fucking stakes. You know what I mean? We get a nuclear war or whatever fucking shit. Some fucking Armageddon thing. It's like it's playing fucking backwards. What else you spotted then, Jim?
Well, I was going to get back in, but if I could take a little break, Uni's back. He can take up the flag for a couple of seconds while I go.
Right, let me play a fucking record because I need to go.
Yeah.
I'll play a short record and we'll just be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, Jim.
I'll find a record. Short one to play. If I could just play it. That's an old one. Can you hear that there? Oh, let me just find a.
I could hear it, yes.
Okay, good.
So we're just taking a short break, right?
Oh. Fucking hell. Can't believe I've done this. Do you know what I've done? I've unplugged it fucking for some stupid reason. And I can't find it now. God, we'll just do this. Just pretend there's a record playing. I'll just do this. I'm just going to go and get a fucking thingy. Right, we're back. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. It was just I've unplugged back at screen, so I've got on my setup here. I've unplugged music, so I can't, and I've got to try and find it, and I can't find fucking lead. But Jimmy will be back in a minute anyway. Behind the curtain, this is how it all works. See, that's it. That's how it all works. It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway. Ace of Spades. Yes, Ace of Spades. And loud. Sorry, fucking hell. Sorry about that. It's just because it's been a long week. It's Friday. I'm having a good weekend. You're having a good weekend. Anyway, Jimmy's going to be back in a minute. We'll be talking about whatever he's got lined up for us. I think he's just gone off for a little tiddle. There, you, Nate, where are you? Are you still there, or did you say you got to go or something? Uni's disappeared. He's gone. He's fucking holding sticks somewhere on his back garden, just in case the revolution's come. And perhaps it has, and I don't know. I'm the only one here talking. Jimmy's not here, so what if the revolution has happened and it's all gone pear shaped and tits up like that? Oh, I don't know who that is. Is that you, Uni? Oh, it's you, Jim. Hey, mate. I've just been jabbering on. I fucking couldn't get a record on. You know what I've done? I've unplugged thing that plugs into the mixer. I've unplugged it from fucking system, so I can't plug it back in. It's the right fucking ball ache, and I can't do it in my push chair because it's just a fucking ball ache with wheels and that and this fucking thing. So I've had to just jab it on.
Fair enough. Fair. I was I couldn't when I picked up the phones. I didn't hear any music. It says, Jay's audio is obviously not working. So there you go.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. He says. So yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
What are you doing? Who's he talking to him? He's not talking to us, is he?
No, I'm talking to you guys.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
well, we were just talking. You just started talking.
Sorry.
Now you've put me off. This is brilliant, isn't it? You've tuned in on a Friday night. You could be watching fucking anything on telly. Just literally, you could be watching Bob's Full House or fucking, I don't know, Crossroads or something. Fucking Pipkins. You could be watching something like that. But no, you're here watching this. So and this is the what we gear here, fucking Uni. What's up, mate?
This is high quality broadcasting, Jay. That this is cutting edge stuff, lad.
So night to you, so south. I think it's fucking time for my bed and all. It's not long. Nice of you to join us. Thank you very much, mate. And enjoy a nice luscious sleep. Jimmy, what have you got for us, mate? Please get me some.
Right. Okay. Well, I suppose it'd be hard to get through the week really without some sort of stories on Coof, right? Coof is not really high on my radar these days. I try to avoid it as much as possible, but it's hard to avoid it. So during the week we had number one, we had Anthony Fauci.
Oh, that trick is still around.
Who tested positive for the Coof. And then also we had Justin Castro also tested positive for the Coof. And I couldn't help but pick up on his tweet. He put, and I'm not on Twitter really, but it's hard to avoid getting stories from Twitter at times. And this is the tweet he put out. He says, "I've tested positive for COVID-19. I'll be following public health guidelines and isolating. I feel okay, but that's because I got my shots. So if you haven't, get vaccinated. And if you can, get boosted. Let's protect our healthcare system and each other and ourselves." So there's the good old sales pitch from Justin Castro. So we got the sales pitch anyway for the Jabberwockies. So it's just it's hard to avoid these stories. All these fucking idiots who, they're following the science. Fair play, they're following the science, but yet they're they're not doing anything to help herd immunity.
It's fucking madness, though, isn't it, man? It's just fucking madness. The whole fucking thing. It's just utter fucking madness. I'd have had it worse if not. It saved me. Why do people? I saw one today where she'd said it were a tweet. The one thing anti-vaxxers say, and by the way, this is not us saying we're anti-vaxxers. one thing anti-vaxxers say is, how come people that are vaccinated have had still keep getting COVID? Well, that's because obviously we're vaccinated, so we keep getting it because it didn't kill us the first time. That's because we were vaccinated. So if you're not vaccinated, I mean, that's just the fucking weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
I mean, did you hear what Howard Stern had to say about frickin' about the vaccination and all that? I mean, it's a rather old thing he said, thinking like a year or two ago now. He just like, oh, this radio talk show host, he died, and he wasn't vaccinated, and then right before he died, he said his greatest regret was not getting vaccinated, which is a load of shit, by the way.
Oh yeah, there's been lots of reports out about that, like, you know, so lots of people have been saying the same thing. It's kind of like a scripted narrative, so you know, to avoid anybody, shit posts like that, you know, so not to be taken seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fucking mental. It's mental fucking illness. It's like that fucking Iraqi general. Remember him in 2003 when fucking America invaded, and it's like fucking general for Iraqi army, and he's saying on screen like, "Oh no, there's nothing's happening here. No one's in this fucking tanks going past behind him, American tanks." He's going, "No, there's just there's fuck all going on here." It's like that fucker.
Yeah, it's almost like as in the run up to the Ukraine war, you know, and the Americans were jumping up and down. The Russians are going to invade. They're coming to get you. And Zelensky was saying, "Nah, there's nothing happening here." Next thing you know, the Russians are in. So,
wait, people were actually saying that Russia is getting ready to invade Ukraine before it actually happened?
They've been making plans since 2014, so, you know.
Well, I know planning it, but like I'm talking about like the actual like on the border about to invade, you know, like actually having artillery and everything like right there ready to move in on the order.
But they have bases there for forever, you know. So you know, at the end of the day, nobody would have known for sure. But they've always had bases there, and they've always had this turnover of troops coming in and out. So, like, nobody would have been able to predict. But obviously, the Americans had the intel, you know, that they knew for a fact that the Ruskies were going to make a move. So, and but to the casual observer, you wouldn't have noticed because there is that sort of like to and fro. Like the Russians are always there on the borders, along the borders. They've got military bases there, and there's constant input and output of gold just turning over there. So, and lots of drills. There's always drills going on. They're always in prep mode. So the Russian army are fairly well organized and fairly well, you know, a finely tuned machine in a way. You know.
Yeah, a lot more so than the American military, which is so divided and just so in shambles at this point that I honestly think that if anyone did decide to invade us, we probably wouldn't be able to put up much of a fight back.
You would, you know, you just slap them around with your high heels, you know, you'd be grand.
And don't forget, you've got fucking like 300 million Americans that are quite heavily armed as well.
Well, I'm talking about the actual military, not.
You wouldn't be relying on military, though, would you? All would you? Because you'd have 300 million men behind you, and quite heavily armed.
I mean, I guess, but
even Kitty is saying it there. Hey, Kitty, Jimmy, you look normal tonight. Fuck's sake.
Get Stallone on. Stallone, is he still about old Stallone?
I haven't looked normal for about 50 years, Kitty, you know, just that's the inside track there. But also, I've been following the, you know, because like this hour is probably going to disappear quite quickly, so I'll try and get through what I've got here, Jason, as quickly as possible. I was tuned into an article there from Bloomberg during the week there, written by George Valero and Michael Niamber. And the headline goes, Germany tells EU to prepare for escalated Brexit feud with the UK. So Germany told European Union nations that relations between the UK and the bloc reached a new low, and they should be ready for a serious fight if London enacts a the bill, it proposed to tear up the Northern Ireland Protocol. The comments came in a closed-door meeting with EU ambassadors, made clear that Berlin's patience with the UK is wearing thin, according to people familiar with the matter. So the bloc reaffirmed its approach to reacting to the UK bill firmly, including by restarting legal action against London, while leaving room for negotiated solution also. But France holds the EU rotating presidency. Also told diplomats that the bloc should be ready to use all the available tools in the trade agreement between the two sides. So the legislation proposed by Boris Johnson would give British ministers the power to unilaterally rewrite the bulk of the Northern Ireland Protocol, which keeps the area in the EU single market while creating a customs border with the rest of the UK. So basically, Berlin's patience is wearing thin with the UK was the general gist of the article, you know. So this Northern Ireland Protocol seems to be sort of like coming to bear in the situation because we're seeing like the narrative sort of flood away from the Ukraine, and like this internal bickering seems to be escalating. So now it's back to UK, EU, Brexit, and like the Northern Ireland has been sort of like the sort of the piggy in the middle, and we've got the Irish government as the that little that little terrier that sort of locks onto you when you go to visit your friends. It locks onto your ankle and won't let fucking go. And this is the strategy the EU are using. So, and this also sort of like ties in with another article. But I was following like Nigel Farage there during the week, and what seems to be sort of another point of contention, which is sort of coming to the surface, is this new bill which was enacted to get refugees sort of like deported to Rwanda. Now there was a plane load of these migrants set to take flight, and they were set to be sent out to Rwanda, but there was a decree came down from the European Court of Human Rights in Brussels, which blocked the takeoff of the plane and wouldn't allow the plane to take off and export these migrants to Rwanda. So there's a huge debate sort of like kicking off in the UK that I can see about UK sovereignty and just, how much control they have over their own sovereignty. It seems to me that the EU still has a huge say in the affairs of the UK, despite them taking the move to exit the EU, which I totally agree with. And I know some people here in this chat would voted like to stay in, and you probably know who I'm talking about. But still, the big questions are being arisen. Like Farage went on to say, like he says we don't need the European Court of Human Rights because we already have our own Bill of Human Rights, which is enshrined in the Magna Carta, which he sort of pointed out, basically. So, and he does have a point. The Magna Carta is quite an interesting document. So, and so that's another issue which has been sort of bubbling to the surface over the last few days. I don't know whether you picked up on any of it, Jay.
I think I picked up a little bit on that, what you were talking about here. But like I said, I've not very much. But yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Fucking hell,
it raises a whole lot of questions about sovereignty and about, and especially now that you've made the exit out of the EU, it was a good move because it showed the rest of us that it is possible, and do you know what? I didn't think the EU would have fought so hard to keep you in. It kind of reminds me of that song, the Hotel California, you can sort of like check out anytime you want, but you just can't leave, that sort of a way.
Yeah.
And it seems to be the way the EU operates. And it's a horrible system, like, and I know they're talking about sort of breaking of agreements here, like, but like, yourself, contracts are always open for renegotiation, they're trying to treat these treaties as if you can't renegotiate them at any stage. And, they're just being stubborn fucking dipshits about this whole fucking thing,
Right, so there's some chat room. Bleakford Clackington is asking about getting marks.
That's my job.
I just want to. All right, then. Will you tell them answer then? Go on. You tell them read what they're saying.
All right. So first of all, Lion's Share in the chat is basically having a little conversation with Beakford Clangington, which they're essentially talking about somebody named Sri Lanka and what's the other guy's name? Freaking. Yeah. I don't really know who these people are, but yeah, apparently uploaded their videos on Honest. I know one Health Freedom UK was talking about was basically saying, funny how we can halt a lift to Rwanda for the refugees, but no for Assange. Funny that. And Chris Partridge is saying England has been at war with France for hundreds of years. I mean, that pretty much got squashed in the World War I agreements, really.
It's Salon. Salon, the guy's called. Look, Mark Salon. I'll get in touch with him, see if he wants to come on. I'll have a chat with him. I've talked to him before. He's been on this show. I've spoke to him. It'd be an interesting guy to have a chat to. So I'll see if I can get in touch with him. I just don't know how to get in touch with him. So if someone could help me put us together or something, I'll get him on. Interesting guy.
So I noticed that Lion's Share was actually asking there about he heard that if any immigrant is successful in their claim for asylum, they get to stay in Rwanda. I'm not sure about that. No, I'm not sure about that. I'd have to look a bit more into that. So I haven't heard that. I thought like if anybody would have been successful in their claim to stay in the UK, that they could stay in the UK. So I'm not sure Rwanda is in the protectorate of. Is Rwanda part of the UK?
No, I don't think so.
No. Rwanda's not a great place to be going to at the moment because Rwanda is on a war footing. I think there's big problems. Like we've all been distracted with the Ukraine as of late. Like, but there's big problems, big war brewing in Rwanda again. With the I think it's in the Congo. So I'll see if I can dig more into that for the next time I come on. Like, but definitely want to watch. I definitely wouldn't want to be going to Rwanda, and definitely would be a deterrent, for any asylum seeker hoping to get to the UK. Like the threat of ending up in Rwanda, like I'll stay where I fucking am.
Yeah. I'll just go home and get fucking beheaded or something.
Am I the only one that doesn't even know what Rwanda is?
Oh man, you haven't lived there.
It's a country in Africa.
Yeah, I mean, you're not aware then of the genocide that happened there. How long ago is it, that genocide happened between the Houthis and the Tutsis? Way back. Is it like 15 years ago or probably longer?
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I'm not really massive on African recent history. I mean, they're two fucking names, them, aren't they? The Houthis and the Tutus. They don't sound right hard, do they?
There was a massive genocide there.
I know it was. It was terrible. So I shouldn't be making jokes about it. It's
unreal, man. The way the people were murdered there was just obscene. Animals, fucking animals.
Lion's Share makes another good point here. He says, everyone, please remember that just like value, quote unquote, countries are just another concept. They don't exist. And I actually want to add into what he said about what you were saying, and to link it to what you were saying before about national sovereignty. National sovereignty is such a vague, actually vague statement. It's like, because think about it like this: if for one nation to be sovereign, another nation has to be affected by it. Let's take the Ukraine, for example. For Ukraine to be its own self-sovereign, national sovereign nation, it has to be able to do whatever it wants alongside the border of Russia, which means being able to just have weapons and all that, join the EU and all that. So that's the problem with the concept of sovereignty, is that one nation's sovereignty is a threat to another nation, and it's just like, what are you supposed to do then? it's a never ending freaking battle. Like,
You
does
fucking
someone-
think far too much for a fucking kid with a $3 hair fucking coat and a fucking $1.50 fucking pair of glasses on.
Hey, my mom cuts my hair for free.
Okay, now fire. Yeah, well, look, have you got all else for us, Jim? Because we're like getting like 5 minutes before end.
Oh, how long we got?
We've got
Yeah,
about 6 minutes, 5 minutes, something
right.
like that.
Well, I suppose I could. We've kind of covered the crypto stuff in a kind of a cursory way, like, you know. But um, I was tuned into the zero hedge there during the week, and an article by Tyler Durden, who sort of like summed it up sort of perfectly what's been happening in the markets this week, you know. So basically, he opened with this article, and it's titled "Carnage." So and he opens like this: "Well, that escalated quickly. Apart from crude oil, almost all asset classes were clubbed like baby seals today, as event risky anxiety ahead of FOMC combined with OPEX technicals, 3.4 trillion options expiration, and European fragmentation fears, and all the usual geopolitical, geoeconomic factors are holding back the dip buyers as the S&P drops into bear market and US equities broadly test the 2022 lows." So he's predicting a stormy Q3, the usually calm, languid dog day markets of July and August being replaced by lumpy seas of bad numbers, grey storm skies as markets struggle with the acceleration negative news flow on inflation, corporate earnings, markets, and increasingly wobbly politics, and a few sharp, pointy rocks of financial destruction. So that's his sort of like take on the next quarter, basically Q3. So, and then we had, and then I was tuned into Jason Dreisen, and he normally covers the Ukraine war, but he switched to economics there during the week, and he had and if anybody, and I highly suggest everybody follow Jacob Dreisen if you want to get updates on what's going on with the war. He got really good analysis, but he basically pointed out that in America that there appears to be only two options if they want to sort of like fight the coming collapse, and one is to either raise interest rates or two, to allow inflation to run its course. Now, he pointed out in his opinion that they will opt for the latter, which is allowing inflation to run its course. And he gave this reason because the latter, because as raising interest rates would destroy asset owners as they are completely over leveraged, and attempts will be made to protect them at all costs, leaving the poorer classes to take the brunt of the effects of the hyperinflation. So that's his prediction on where it's going in America on the financial side of things. So, and of course, like we've had a huge debacle, like when it comes to crypto this week. Like, you know, not only did we have we basically had this company called A3C. They stopped. Who were they called here? Let's see. They basically stopped people taking their assets out, and they stopped people borrowing in their cryptos, and all sorts of crazy things. And we have Binance. They're laying off about 18% of their workforce, basically, and it's sort of like they're putting the blame on sort of like a change in economic environment and stuff like that. So basically, like Binance are really sort of like taking a hair trim at the moment, and this is all playing out like. And then there was also the Celsius implosion as well too. So we got Celsius collapse there during the week as well too, and there's a lot of speculation as to how much they're over leveraged, and they obviously have sort of connections to this Luna collapse which happened in the last few weeks. So we're waiting at the moment to see how Celsius are, and Celsius are like a major player, like, and a lot of people do a lot of buying and selling on Celsius platforms. So we'll just have to wait and see, because it would seem that they've been sort of like doing some dodgy arbitrage strategies, to sort of like, because they use these arbitrage strategies to make money for their investors, basically. So and there seems to be that they've overstepped their mark, and people are sort of like focusing on it because they're expecting a big collapse in Celsius if this plays out. So I think that's where we are on the crypto stuff, like, and we have covered that a little bit too. Now, also we had Gazprom. Now, Gazprom also announced that they were going to be reducing deliveries to Europe. So now I'm not sure about these numbers. I don't think these numbers are 100% correct, because the article I took here, they say they're reducing it from 100 million cubic meters down to 67. And I thought it was 167 cubic meters and they were reducing it down to 100 million. But perhaps the former is correct here. Now, the official reason was there was a failure of Siemens to fulfill its obligations to repair equipment. Now, during the week, now, as this was playing out, the German economy minister, a guy called Habeck, he sort of chimed in on the matter, and he was complaining that the restrictions on energy deliveries from Russia are political and not technical. So, as this story was playing out, basically, we just had to wait. As you always do, you have to wait and to see where the story will end. So eventually the truth did sort of come out eventually. And it turned out that certain turbines that are needed to run this Nord Stream 1 pipeline are broken. And these are run by Siemens. Now, the equipment was sent out to Canada to get fixed. But because of sanctions, Canada are not sending the equipment back because of the connection to the to Gazprom, basically, and so we've got like Canada sanctioning Germany right now, and Germany is having difficulty sort of like filling up its reserves, basically. So it's and Germany is like going nuts over this, like, because their reserves are really their reserves are down to about 50 or 60%, like. So they're in a world of hurt, and I was listening to Alexander Mercouris just before we started on to this show, basically, and he was talking about the a report that was put out by the Germans on the economic outlook and the energy outlook for the winter, and it's looking seriously really bad for the Germans, and the Germans are looking at a really cold winter, basically. So so this is another hit, like. So in a sense, like, the German minister was right in the way that it was political in a sense, but it was also technical, you know. So because of the breakdown into the transformers. So just another interesting case, you know. It's like these sanctions are really like, they're hurting the West more than they're hurting Russia. It seems to me, you know. I don't know your thoughts on that, Jay, but it's pretty clear at this stage.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's. I mean, what does fucking Russia need West for? It's got everything it needs on it. I mean, it's sat on fucking all sorts of minerals. It's so vast. It's got fucking pools and pools of resources. So
You
if
see,
people, all they've got to do is say, well, if people don't want to fucking trade with us, don't trade with us then. No problem.
Yeah,
See, that's the thing, is that, sorry for interrupting, but I just want to say this. That's the problem with Western economies, is that these so-called democracy economies, is that they rely too much on resources from other countries in order to be able to maintain themselves, which in old times, that's not how things were done. Countries would make their own, would live off of the resources that they themselves can make and hold. Not by trading with foreign countries.
Yeah, but that's where we've come, though, isn't it? That's where we've come. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they created this system, and now it's falling apart, just as intended. It's all it's all part of the plan, of course. You know, they created it, and now they're having it fall apart because they have no use for it anymore.
Anyway, I think that's it. I've got no use for being on here anymore because I'm fucking knackered. And thanks to you lot for coming on. You too, Julian Assange there, in his lovely glasses and his tender lips, and Jimmy Hagan there over in Ireland. Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot. It's been real. Someone asked earlier on about the the meetup. Now, I'm just sort of thinking it's quite a big fucking step at this meetup thing. Going to a Steam rally is the thing that's a big step. I mean, because like it's a fucking Steam rally. There's going to be a lot of walking involved, and I don't know whether I can be asked to fucking be getting my scooter out and what have you. So I don't know, but I'll have definitely have a definitive answer for you on Tuesday whether I'm going to go or not. And don't forget, it's a fucking Steam rally, so every cunt's going to have a disabled badge. That's not what I mean. Oh, in there, everybody's going to have one. So yeah, you were waving, Jim.
I was just waving to Kitty.
Oh right,
She said,
okay.
good night.
Oh, right. Yeah. Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night to the people who are not in the chat room or just listening in the background. Thank you for your company, and I shall see you on Tuesday evening. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure.